The Freedom of Information Act that they filed to get those court documents were not supposed to be used to harass and terrorize anybody. That's what they've done wrong. It's not illegal for them to get those court documents or even for them to go over it, but the fact that they're using them to terrorize me by lying about what's in those documents, and they are lying because they say that I had a lawyer and I didn't have a lawyer. They say I had a plea deal and I didn't have a plea deal. They say a lot of things that are not in the documents anywhere, but because they have these documents and they say that it's in there, they can say whatever they want and their viewers will just believe them. And that's fucked up. If I had any money, I would be able to have a lawsuit against them for what they've done, but I don't. All I can do is continue documenting and telling the world what these people have done and praying that somebody will see it before they kill me. Because that's what the end of this is going to be. They want me dead, and they're not going to stop until they get what they want. One thing I don't understand. If I'm such a bad person, I'm this horrible criminal that deserves the death penalty, why is it that when you requested all of my information, the only thing you got was a court record of where I was a witness in a case? That's what you're using to demonize me. That's what you're using to convince thousands of people that I deserve to be lynched in the streets. A court case where I was the witness. Why, if I'm such a terrible criminal, you're telling people I murdered a woman, but then you get my criminal record and there's nothing in the criminal records, not even a robbery. Apparently the one time I went to jail isn't even in there. So where is this big criminal history that proves that I'm unreasonably unsafe and dangerous and should be locked up? It's not in those records. That came from my abusive family. Oh, Kathy saying that she wouldn't want to meet me in a dark alley and then threatening to have her children chase me down on motorbikes. Kathy has lied. Because Kathy lied, Adonis Paul lied. And because Adonis Paul lied, thousands of people now want to hurt me. If Kathy had just lied on her own, nobody would have heard it. Kathy doesn't have thousands of subscribers. The people who are working with her have thousands of subscribers. The people that are parroting her lies against me, her defamating, slanderous bullshit that she's making up on the spot to hurt me for writing a book about our abusive family. You can tell she's abusive just by listening to her videos. You can hear it in her voice. You can read it in everything that she says. She doesn't know me, but she will continue pretending to know me so she could say that she knows me well enough to tell you who I am. Nobody in my family knows me. My family is abusive, and they never got to know me as a person. So when you're going to my abusers to get information about me and then coming back, you're not actually coming back with information about me. I'm not even the same person I was when I was with my family. I never would have been strong enough to speak out if I was with my family. That's why I escaped them. And one of the things people are saying is that I only came to California because they were getting too suspicious in Florida. Too suspicious of what? I haven't done anything. It wasn't illegal to be homeless in Florida. It's not illegal to be homeless in California. The reason I left Florida It's because I was living in a tent on a property that my grandmother had left me, but my aunt refused to give the deed to. So I couldn't sell it. I could only live on the land until the bank or the state took it away for back taxes not being paid. There was supposed to be a trust set up for me. Never happened. Anyways, I think it was the second year after my grandmother had passed away. It would have been 2017. And there was a hurricane coming. And I panicked. It rained and rained, and I had a shed that my papa had built that I was staying in, but it was just, I started thinking that it was going to kill me. That living in Florida, homeless, out in those woods with nobody even knowing where I was going to die out there. And then I started thinking, if I started walking now, at least it would be shady. Because even with the rain, it was real hot. So that's what I did. I started walking, and I made it to Savannah, Georgia, before my friends online told me that I was dumb and put me on a Greyhound bus here to California, because they said that there were people here in California that would be able to help me. And there were. They made me promise. They said, we will get you the ticket if you make a deal with us that you'll get help when you get there. And I did. They even gave me the name of the place to go to. And that's where I went the very next morning after I arrived in California. I went to Gateway's Mental Health Resources. It got me a doctor and a therapist. I started on medication, and I've been with these people since then. That's why I have my apartment, because I went to these mental health services people and they helped me. I had to be in the system for a full year before I even qualified to be reviewed to get a Section 8. And then after I got the Section 8, it still took about a year to find a place that would accept me. You know, you guys think this all happened overnight because you weren't watching. If you had been watching for the 5 years before Adonis Paul stepped in and started lying to you, you would know exactly how much I've gone through and how much I've changed and how much I've fought to become different than the person that my parents and my family created me to be through their abusive techniques of making me feel like I was worthless and stupid and ugly and fat and nothing anybody would ever want to have anything to do with. I'm trying to create a real person out of that mold of shit that they left. And it's really hard when there's now thousands of people sharing my family's abusive mindset towards me that just want me to suffer and fall and die. No matter how hard I'm fighting, no matter how good I'm doing, I'm not jumping into bed with a man just so I'll have food or a place to stay for the night anymore. I'm not convincing myself of what love actually is anymore. I know I don't feel it, and I'm not lying to myself about that anymore. I'm not trying to force a life that isn't mine. And I'm not trying to be what they want me to be. I'm trying to be what I am. I'm trying to find who I am. I don't even really know what I like in this world. I've never been allowed to explore it enough to know. I've always just been so sad, so hurting, and told that nothing matters. All I want is to live. All I want is to be allowed to live without the interference of my abusers, who only want me to die. And there's nothing legally I can do to stop them. But I don't have to give up, and I don't have to stop speaking out about it. And one day somebody will see and will understand.